in Week 3. The Falcons dominated their first matchup against the Buccaneers. Can Tampa Bay avoid the sweep? Find out next on Madden Football.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Set to return. Here's Raheem Mostert. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So, I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. The bottom line, how do they get a win?
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. The rushing numbers for Gaskin last week. 18 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 36. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And here comes Westbrook. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
There's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, this shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now Mack. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking downfield for Jones.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense.
4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would?
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for Atlanta.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Meanwhile, Brady's thrown into the hands of Sample. Touchdown, Falcons! Drew Sample, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CB, do you see an avenue where they could still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock. That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of him. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this one's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. These two teams, they met in Atlanta earlier in the year with the Falcons winning that game. So if they can win here in Tampa, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Gaskin. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, coaches stress their defense being physical. They don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Oh, it's intercepted. He's trying to give it to Ridley. Picked up by Jordan Lewis. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Mostert now to return. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
This is Gaskin on the carry. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
On second and a yard, Brady, and he'll let this go deep for Bourne. Oh, a leap it, he will make the catch. Touchdown, Falcons. Kendrick Bourne, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons on just 2 plays have taken the lead. But we keep waiting year after year to see signs of Tom Brady's arm strength deteriorating. But his message there, keep waiting.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air according to Next Gen Stats. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity. Matt gets hit, and the ball is free. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Out of the gun now on third down. Flush to his right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for it. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Pressure brought in, and the foul. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack. It brings up second.
So rookie first rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter.
And a loose football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to back it out.
Just the first quarter, the tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off season about our season open opponent. and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Night.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second and 6. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here we go. Right there.
Back to throw. They'll run the screen with Mack. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A good first down call.
Right, baby, it's all me.
Good call there on first down. And Brandon, I'm getting better over the years about screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
On second down now, it's Mack. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Over the middle. That's caught by Miller. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4.
The give is to Jones. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Movement there on the offensive line. A little quick and a 5-yard penalty.
Ball start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
They'll drop to throw. A slant to Jones. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Mike 45. I got him. Watch the end. Mike 60.
Mack again. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. This is Mack. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all mounted up at 14. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I think he's still shaking his head a little. It was his fumble on the previous drive that led to the touchdown that has us tied.
And sometimes it's worse on a runner who drops it like that to watch the other team take the ball downfield and score than maybe if they just returned it right away. You know what I mean? Because sometimes what happens that fast, you're right back out on the field. Instead, he had to watch it happen. Let's see if it affects him going forward the rest of the game.
They'll run now with Gaskin. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. He'll let this go deep for Bourne. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Brady. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 31 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized the ability to win the football. You've got to be able to throw better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 41. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 43 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now. And, Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well. The offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Westbrook now on the return.
Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Richie Grant.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is now 21-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Now D.D. Westbrook to return.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Coming to you, coming to you. Right there, 54 Mike.
They're going to look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Richie Grant.
And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. To throw again on 2nd down. Brady toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Brady going to throw.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
But we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions. And here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield. He was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Tom Brady, his third touchdown pass of this first half. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Going deep this time for Miller. And now here is another interception. Picked by Tracy Walker.
And the Falcons are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Boy, so another interception, CD. And it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter.
And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there. Still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half. And once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. 2nd and 4. Flushed out right. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that. And they force another incompletion.
Escaping the pressure right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Let's go. Do this.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Now a first down throw complete downfield. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's able to find Miller. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
That's a big league job there, getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Mack. And they'll get this from 5. Pick up a 3.
They went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines, those extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2nd and 5. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Mostert now to return. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
49 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw, it's Brady. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Vita Vea breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might have dumped that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Brady. And that is incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Open man is QT, complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. 35 yards that time on the punt. From Soldier Field, meanwhile, in Chicago, a 3rd quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Brady now on 1st down. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on that.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now a stoppage, and oh boy, we've got Mayfield shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Brady to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to give it to Ridley. Picked by Antoine Infield Jr. And the Bucs are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
You can't block me. Mark 6, 33. 33.
They'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Chambers.
7 yards, the pickup there.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. Mack gets hit and the ball is free. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Brady. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
He's brought down at the 34. All in a gain of 4.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Gaskin again on 2nd down. Room to run for Gaskin.
Touchdown, Falcons. Myles Gaskin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead now up to 14. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And it was capped off by a Myles Gaskin touchdown run.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback. Back now comes Tampa Bay.
And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, I just kept using it.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's going to be up around the 45-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. It's Miller, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The 2nd and 10 now as we roll along in the 3rd quarter from Tampa.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's complete. It's Miller. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. And quickly they get to the line. Here's 2nd and 8. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And the Bucs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. On the handoff, it's Mack. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Back to throw here. The quick slant caught. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up.
Touchdown! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Brady now on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a Buccaneer defense for the 2nd straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and hunt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to face a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Brady now to throw. He's got his man. That's Sample, the tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Brady's throwing to the hands of Sample. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete. Critical play in this football game is if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now goes a punt of 32 yards. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. It means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
They're going to look to throw. Slant route to Miller. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down. trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another run with Gaskin. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. After the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And, of course, this win, a big one. They can hang their hat on this victory on the road against the defending Super Bowl champs.
And you know how difficult it is for the team that wears the crown, because they're going to get everyone.